Dallas came out aggressive from the opening tip. Cooper Flagg opened the scoring with a floating runner. Joel Embiid tied it with a mid-range make. Then Ryan Nembhard knocked down a step back to reclaim the lead for the Mavericks early on. Tyrese Maxey buried a deep triple to give Philadelphia their first advantage, but Nembhard responded with a pull-up, and P.J. Washington hammered a thunderous alley-oop in transition. Dallas surging early to build momentum with an 8-5 lead. Anthony Davis stretched the cushion with a smooth fadeaway, and Embiid attacked the paint with a teardrop to trim the deficit. Then VJ Edgecombe splashed a 26-foot three, silencing the home crowd momentarily as the game was now knotted. Max Christie glided through traffic for a finger roll to put Dallas back on top, but Embiid countered immediately with a smooth jumper to level things once. Christie added a layup to stretch the lead. Davis slammed home a vicious lob to push Dallas ahead by 6. Then Edgecombe drove hard for a reverse, Philadelphia refusing to let the Mavericks run away in this early first-quarter battle. Flagg powered home a fast break dunk to restore the advantage, but Maxey answered with consecutive drives at the basket, cutting the deficit down to 2 as Philadelphia found their rhythm and kept pressure on Dallas throughout the quarter. Christie stopped the run with a turnaround. Edgecombe fired back with a pullback. Then Flagg connected from long range. Both squads trading haymakers in this intense back-and-forth first-quarter showdown between these two hungry teams. Flagg threw down a run-out jam to extend the margin. Paul George got to the rim with a crafty bank shot, but Klay Thompson drained a deep bomb. Dallas surging ahead by 7 as the clock ticked down toward the final minute of the period. Jared McCain hit a 9-footer to keep Philadelphia within striking distance. Then Brandon Williams converted a driving layup to maintain the late advantage. Daniel Gafford emphatically converted a tip-in to cap Dallas's biggest margin at 8. George answered with a spinning bank as the first quarter ended 33-27. The second quarter opened with Klay Thompson gliding in for a finger roll to keep Dallas ahead, but Philadelphia answered right away. Paul George raced out for a transition finish. Joel Embiid attacked the rim and converted the and one to trim it to 3, igniting a huge Sixers run that would flip the script. Tyrese Maxey pushed the pace with a reverse on the break. Then Quentin Grimes buried a 3 to give Philadelphia their first lead. Thompson answered with a smooth fadeaway to tie it, but momentum had clearly shifted to the Sixers. Maxey drilled a pull-up 3 to put the Sixers back ahead. Then Paul George threw down a thunderous slam to extend the advantage to 7. Anthony Davis tried to stem the tide with a hook in the paint, but Philadelphia kept rolling. Max Christie connected on a deep bomb to pull Dallas within 4. Anthony Davis added a floater in the lane to keep the Mavericks within striking distance, but Maxey answered with a scooping finish to push the Sixers' advantage back to 5. Andre Drummond converted a turnaround to extend the margin. Grimes raced ahead for a fast break finish to balloon the lead to 9. Ryan Nembhard hit a 3-pointer to stop the bleeding as Dallas desperately fought to stay in reach. Grimes caught fire with a deep 3 to push the margin to double digits. Then VJ Edgecombe attacked the rim for a driving attack to keep the pressure on. Nembhard knocked down a mid-range jumper to keep Dallas in the fight. Then P.J. Washington converted a floating bank shot and the and one free throw. The Mavericks desperately trying to claw their way back into this game before halftime. Embiid powered through for a driving finish to restore the double-digit advantage. Flagg answered with a cutting layup, but Edgecombe buried a corner 3 in the final seconds, Philadelphia taking a commanding 68-57 edge into halftime. Coming out of halftime, Derek Barlow buried a 3 to push Philadelphia's lead to 13. Max Christie responded with a finger roll, then connected on a pull-up to trim the deficit as Dallas looked to claw back into this game. VJ Edgecombe pushed ahead for a transition bucket to restore the cushion, but Anthony Davis muscled home a putback and Klay Thompson added a fast break scoop, the Mavericks trimming it to single digits and gaining some needed momentum. Edgecombe answered with a driving attack to keep Philadelphia in control. Then Tyrese Maxey caught fire with a deep 3 to extend it back to 12. Najee Marshall tried to answer with a floater, but the Sixers remained firmly in command. Maxey stayed aggressive with a driving layup to push it back to double digits. Daniel Gafford responded with a floating bank shot, but Maxey countered with another drive, Philadelphia refusing to let Dallas get any closer in this period. Adem Bona powered home a tip-in to balloon the advantage. Then Joel Embiid knocked down a mid-range jumper to stretch the Philadelphia margin even further. Brandon Williams fired back with a step-back to keep Dallas within striking distance. Then Jaden Hardy drilled a deep bomb to trim it to just 7 points. Embiid answered with a reverse to push it back to 9. Edgecombe sealed the quarter with a scooping finish, Philadelphia taking a 92-83 lead into the fourth. Entering the fourth with a 9-point cushion, Daniel Gafford threw down a dunk to cut the deficit to 5, but Tyrese Maxey answered with a cutting bucket. Najee Marshall converted a floater and the and one to complete the 3-point play, but Maxey came right back with a driving finish, Philadelphia maintaining their cushion as both teams traded blows in the early minutes of this period. Marshall stayed hot with a pull-up to keep Dallas within 4 points, but Embiid responded with a smooth fadeaway to push the lead back to 6 once more. Marshall attacked with another driving bucket to trim the deficit, and Embiid answered with a mid-range jumper before Grimes exploded for a transition slam, Philadelphia pulling away as the advantage grew to 8 with 9 minutes left. Brandon Williams answered with a fast break scoop to keep Dallas in the fight, but Grimes buried a 3 to push the Philadelphia advantage back to 9. Maxey added a floating shot to extend the margin to 11. Williams tried hard to keep Dallas alive with a finger roll to cut it back to single digits. Grimes caught fire with a deep 3 to push it to 12. P.J. Washington answered with a tray, but Paul George hit a turnaround to restore the cushion, Philadelphia refusing to let Dallas get any closer in this pivotal fourth quarter. Maxey splashed a 3-pointer to blow it wide open at 14. Max Christie connected on a long-range make to cut it to 11, then Williams added a run-out finish, but it was far too little, far too late as the Sixers held their ground. Anthony Davis threw down a jam to make it a 7-point game, but Grimes answered with another long-range bomb to push it back to 10 and seal the deal. Maxey hit a pullback to extend the margin, then VJ Edgecombe buried a corner 3 in the final minute, Philadelphia sealing a dominant 123-108 victory.